Hey, Pastor Dave here. I'm sitting in the prayer room of our church. And by the way, you're always welcome to use this prayer room anytime, any day, anywhere. Today's question that I want to answer is from 1 Thessalonians 5:17, where we're commanded to pray continually. Rejoice always, and then pray continually. What does that mean exactly? How do we pray continually? Well, first of all, I don't believe Paul meant that we are to get on our knees and remain there 24 hours a day. That certainly makes no sense. That certainly would be impractical, exhausting, not to mention you would go broke because your employer would fire you for not getting any work done at all. In 1 Thessalonians 5:17, Paul provides his readers with this command to obey. He wants us to pray continually. So what does that mean? Well, first of all, let's take a look at the word continually. In the Greek word for continually means to leave off, cease, leave an interval, whether of space or time, means uninterruptedly, without intermission, constantly, incessantly, unceasingly, always, unintermittently, continually, without omission or without ceasing. Now, I know that sounds like, oh, that sounds like all the time, and it does, but not in the way you think, not in the way of where you think physically, I've got to be in a posture of prayer all day long. That's not what we're talking about here. So let me give you an example of what I believe Paul is meaning here. If we meet someone we've never met before, we might pray, God, is this person a follower of Christ? If not, would you begin drawing him or her to yourself? If we hear something bad happening, we react by praying for God to act in the situation because we know he cares. If we hear of something good that has happened, we respond with immediate praise and worship and thanks to God. When Paul looked around his world, everything he saw prompted him to pray in some way. When he thought of or heard about one of his beloved churches, it moved him to pray. And so it is, it's a God consciousness, if you will, that God is always nearby. He's always ready to hear it from us. He's always willing to listen to a request from us. He's always present. He's more than willing to listen to our prayers at any time, any place. The second aspect of unceasing prayer is people consciousness. You got the God consciousness. Now I'm talking about people consciousness. We cannot effectively pray for people unless we are aware of their needs. So Paul exhorted the Colossians to keep alert in prayer in Colossians chapter 4, verse 2. And he said to the Ephesians, with all prayer and petition, pray at all times in the Spirit with this in view. Be on alert with all perseverance and petition for all the saints, Ephesians 6:18. So there's two elements of prayer here when it comes to praying without ceasing. And those are the God consciousness and the people consciousness. Paul loved to pray to God because he knew God was there all the time. His love for God led him to seek unbroken communion with him, and his love for people drove him to unceasing prayer on their behalf. So pray continually, people. By the way, I double dog dare you to memorize 1 Thessalonians 5:17. Pray continually. There, I got it. Hey. All right. Thanks for listening. And keep on praying.